Stories. Sometimes they insult us, sometimes they amaze us, and sometimes they really entertain us. And we all enjoy a good story, every one of us. The storytellers of this world are the people, or the ones who people follow. And if you run into a storyteller that talks about information that you really enjoy, tells it in a way that you really enjoy, then you're going to follow that storyteller. Every time she or he puts out a new story, you're going to want to be one of the first ones right there in line to hear that story, to see that what their latest information is, what the latest thing they're talking about. But what about you? You've got stories to tell. Anybody who's lived life in any way has got stories. But you might think that you aren't a good storyteller. Well, that's maybe you're not. But the thing is, it's a skill that you can develop. And if you actually if you start telling your stories, if you practice at it, then over time you get better telling those stories. Everybody's got stories. The thing is, are your stories worth telling? And if you don't think they are, then you're not living your life right. Or you're not living an exciting life or a full life. What you need to do is start getting experiences that you can talk about, and experiences that are so valuable to you that you can tell others about them in stories in a way that your life becomes, your experiences become interesting to them. You know, back when I was in my 20s, I started into a career, one career. I eventually retired from it, but I was in my mid 20s when I began that career, and I and other young employees at that time would on our breaks we'd sit around, we talk with some of the older employees, and we listen to their stories, things they had to tell. And every once in a while we'd come across a guy that just had no end of stories, had story after story after story to tell. And it became a joke to us. We were so young that we'd figure one guy had so many stories to tell that he must have lived like 10 or 12 lives in order to experience what he talked about. And like I said, it was a big joke to us. But as I grew older, I come to realize how wrong we actually were to clown around about this person, because as I lived through my years, I began to pick up experiences, and now I've got a lot of things I can talk about. And every once in a while, some memory will pop up, and I'll think, wow, that's a good story right there. So yes, the older you get, the more you live, the more stories you have to tell. And I, as a young person, just didn't understand that, how a person could actually really have those experiences that some of those guys talked about. But actually, it does happen. But you know, if you're a leader, or if you want to become a leader, then one of your most valuable skills will be the art of storytelling. And if you tell your stories right, if you tell your stories entertainingly enough, people will follow you just to hear your stories. And through those stories, you can get your message, your vision across to them. And if if you do that in a way that they like, or they will that entertains them, there's a good chance, a very good chance, that they're going to start supporting you in your quest for that vision, and they will come to try to help you make that vision a reality. So, through your stories, you build relationships, and through relationships, you build your followers, and through those followers, you find your support team to help you get to the point where you want to be. So, study the art of storytelling, and tell your stories. Let people know some of the experiences you've had. Tell them about the successes that you've had. Also tell them about the failures. If one of they say experience is the best teacher, but actually I believe that the experiences of others is an even better teacher, because if you talk about your failures and let people know how you failed, and what you came to learn from those failures, and how you got around those failures and got back on your path toward success, and solved those problems that came up during those failure times. If you let people know about those, then they will have that information ready for when they come up against the problems that you faced, and they already know how to handle them because you were there before them, and you helped them along their way. And your stories give them the ammunition they need to avoid those problems that tend to pop up along the road towards getting where you want to be. So tell your stories. Be a storyteller. Be a leader. Let people know how to find the avenues to success that you found. Let them know how to solve the problems that you solved. Let them know what those problems are. In your storytelling, you can help other people make some amazing strides forward. And that's it for this time. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.